Hey, this is Marc Goldberg from Marc Vlogs Watches, and I'm out in the wind, but I want to show you in the natural, beautiful lighting a new watch that I've acquired, and then give you my first and initial impressions of this watch. But before we do that, I guess I better show it to you with the quick fist watch check, and here she is. Okay guys, we are inside now and out of the wind. I apologize for that bit of crazy noise that you heard at the first. And here, let's take another quick look at this out of the noise with this beautiful Seamaster made by Omega in 300 glorious meters of water resistance and in ceramic and stainless steel. Okay, I am going to take this watch off, turn this camera around, and show you the things that I like and dislike about this watch. But before I do that, let me just say, on balance, I like it quite a bit. Who should buy it? Who should avoid it? Let's talk about that as we look at the watch. I do like to shout out people if I buy watches from them and have a great experience. So I got this puppy from Nick at Exquisite Timepieces in Naples, Florida. And Exquisite Timepieces handles something on the order of 50 brands of watches. So have a look at their website or get in touch with Nick, who helped me out with this puppy. And I'm sure he'd be happy to help you too with an Omega or any one of Grand Seiko, any one of 50 brands that they carry. I'll put all of their contact information in the description. So have a look at my friend's Exquisite Timepieces. And Nick, thank you for getting me this beautiful watch. It's kind of in short supply and not so easy to get, so I appreciate your looking after me. Okay, well, let's just jump to the wonderful things about this watch. And I think probably the most obvious is what you're looking at right now, which is this dial. Now, the dial, this is the chrome colored dial, and it comes in blue and black variants as well. I picked out this chrome or gray one because, to my eye, it has the maximum amount of light play that you could really ever imagine having on a watch. Now, in previous iterations, Omega had the wave pattern. Then for a couple of years, they eliminated the wave pattern. When they did have it, it was raised, and in this dial, it is laser cut or engraved right into the ceramic dial. So that dial is never going to fade, chip, crack. It'll be young always, just like me. Now the lume plots are raised up fairly substantially. They contrast terrifically with this dial. We have skeleton hands, but they are outlined in lume. They are blued, as is the second hand, with that nice large lume plot at the tip or near the tip. And so what you get is a stupendously legible watch. Now you can barely see it, but right under the minute hand is the date. They moved it from 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock. And as you will hear in many reviews of the Omega Seamaster, that makes for a very balanced look. So the dial is the thing. Now, I'm also very fond of this blue ceramic. In this light, it kind of looks black, or gray, but this is a blue ceramic dial, which you would have seen when we were outdoors. And actually, that's another thing. The play of light, man, depending on what kind of light you are, what angle you're looking at your watch, it's incredibly dynamic. The view is constantly changing, improving. There's so much movement in here that it's actually a little bit busy, even though it's a simple, well-balanced dial. And that's something that you're either going to like or not. I actually like it quite a bit. It really contrasts a whole lot with the elegant, iconic simplicity of the black dial Submariner made by Rolex. Now, what are the other things I like just besides the dial and the look of the bezel? The crown guards are gorgeous. We will talk about the cupcake or the wart on the stuff that I don't like. I do very much like the brushed, high polished, you know, the way this link system works. It's just magnificent. It looks sporty, but you could so easily dress this up because of that tiny little bit of polished bling there. And then I also like the milled out clasp. These pushers are kind of new for Omega. You see they're shaped kind of like an egg. They used to just be round dots, but it's a double deployant system. And we have a nice hardy clasp with Omega engraved, right into that clasp. So I do like this. It's a secure snick and a click, holds well. What else is there to like? Well, there is a proper dive extension here, and it's not crappy stamped metal like there was on recent Rolex models. Rolex has caught up with the times, but only recently. That is a thick milled dive extension, which I will never use, but I like. And then there is a button under here, right here. Let me turn this around so you can kind of read it. See where it says push right by my thumb? It might not be focusing quite right. Oh, there we go. Okay, so if I push and hold that, you'll see that, well, let me get the thumb back under there. See how much adjustment I'm getting right here? So this would be Omega's answer to the glide lock clasp. I don't think it's quite as well engineered as the glide lock clasp, because as you're deploying the micro adjustments, you are increasing or decreasing the size of the clasp, whereas with the Rolex it's internal. But at this price point, which we will discuss, this is a terrific touch and it's a great clasp. Oh, what else do I love? Well, how can you not love not only the movement, but the caseback? That's a decorated caseback. Machine decorated, no doubt, but just beautifully done. And let me find you the heartbeat of the watch. It's hiding under here somewhere. There we have it. You can see the balance wheel cranking away there. This is a beautiful thing. And this is Omega's 8800 coaxial movement. And it's a little early. This movement is still breaking in, but by all accounts, it's deadly accurate. One of the most accurate mechanical movements ever made. And in fact, it's not only COSC certified, but it's METAS certified, which means it's extra. It's extra COSC. It's COSC plus 10. It's not basic, it's extra. So it's supposed to be super accurate. Okay. Retail on this is $4,850. Beautiful lugs. You can sort of see the polished and angular surfaces here, the twisting lugs. It's gorgeous. Okay, so in regards to things that I like less, well, certainly the wart or the cupcake would be one of them. Really, if you wear this watch for any length of time, you quickly forget it's there. But wouldn't it be nice if we could just hacksaw it, hack it off, there she is and there she isn't. So it would be nice if it was completely gone. But really, at the end of the day, the only thing about it that kind of annoys me is normally, when you're handling a watch and you're going to put it back on, your brain orients to the crown, so you know which way to put the watch on your wrist, and this can make it a little confusing. It's a very small deal, but there it is. Oh, now that some time has passed, you can see today is the 26th. And another nice touch, the date wheel is color-coded to the dial. Other stuff I don't like. Well, I suspect this bracelet is made in China. I'm not 100% on that. But I believe so. And these edges are a little sharp. They're not going to cut you or anything, but just to the touch, I would think that it could have been smoothed out a little bit or burnished. So that is a complaint I would have, would be slightly sharp edges. They're not rough. They're just sharper than they might need to be. And that's something that I'm a little more used to on a micro brand that is sourcing bracelets in China. So I think that could have been improved. The other thing with the bracelet that I'm not crazy about, These little screws, look, there's a screw on this side of the link, but also corresponding on the other side of the same link. Well, we're having a focus issue here, people, but you'll have to trust me on that. There's screws on both sides. So what you have here is a tiny, tiny little screw, which you can back out. And then on the other side, the same thing. And then running between those two screws is a pin, which you need like a needle or, safety pin to just push out. So let's just say the solution for holding the bracelet together is a little more tricky than Rolex, which is a single screw that runs all the way through. And I prefer that. This is a little bit more miserable to do your own adjustments on. Now, the question becomes, who should buy this watch? And I have some thoughts on that. So if you have a bunch of Rolexes and you're getting a little bored and you want something a little bit bigger, you want something cool, something that you're bound to like, then yes, this is a great watch for you. If you really want to get into the luxury watch market for under $5,000 with a one and done watch, this watch is also for you. Who's it not for? Well, it's for people who really wanted a Submariner and just quit several $1,000s short, because this is like $4,000 or so short of the price of a Submariner, which makes it a tremendous deal. It's actually somewhat more accurate, I think, probably at the end of the day than a Submariner, and it's certainly flashier. But if you're looking for the icon and you really wanted a Submariner, don't stop halfway there, because you'll never be happy with this watch. You need the sub. But if you're bored with the sub, or you have a sub and you're looking to alternate it with something, or if you're not a snob and you don't care about Rolex, this is an amazing value. I'm enjoying it, and I hope that you've enjoyed this video. I am working kind of hard, guys, to be one of your favorite YouTubers, so help me out by liking and subscribing. And a big shout out again to Nick at Exquisite Timepieces for hooking me up with the Omega Seamaster Professional 300 meter and 42 glorious millimeters of stainless steel. This is Goldberg. Peace out.